Don't pops around?
We used to mine all your stuff.
Okay.
Bring back a lot of memories.
Especially them three-wheelers back there?
Yeah, he's got some of them hanging up. Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the nice 350Xs around.
What was that one you got?
Custom one?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that one.
450.
You had one like that?
I had a TPC.
Okay.
Yeah.
TPC, they take a quad frame and do it, right? Yep.
I had an Outlaw engine in it. It was a 470 stroker, and I had this extra laying around because I can't race at the Nationals, and I put it in there, and that was the fastest thing in the garage. You know, you're talking fifth gear wheeling, it was just stupid fast. So you couldn't even ride it on the track. But it was fun going down the road.
That's pretty much how that one is here. I mean, you rode it.
Yeah, I
like
did.
it's.
I thought you had two of them.
No, well, yeah, I did. I built the street legal version, but I sold it.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. What's funny is I took it to my buddies. They own the Honda shop here in town, and they put it on the showroom floor, and everybody thought Honda came out with the three-wheeler because it looked just like that one with the mirrors on it and everything. But yeah, it sold. I think it sold that day. It's pretty cool.
I tell you what, I like this Chevelle.
Yeah, that's what he was born.
That's my old. I'm old school.
Yeah.
I have one of them.
That's just a Malibu dressed up, but you know, it is a California car though. I mean, black plate, all original.
68, right?
68, yep.
Where you get your truck done there?
Yeah, my guy's been. We finally got water down here, so he's been detailing stuff.
Oh, man. When I first go to Doug Gus's house, you know, I've got decent sized jumps on my track. You know, some of them are, you know, your head maybe get as high as these lights in here or whatever. I thought was huge. I go to his house, and I get there, I'm like, do you double this? He goes, no, I triple that. I'm like, are you kidding me? What the hell's like 120 foot long? And so then we decided, well, we're going to do the jump, and we're going to have his dump truck and raise the bed up. Somebody's going to stand on top of the dump truck, and as we jump it, we're going to high five him. And we did that. It's on video.
Are you talking about for Cuatros Locos?
Yeah, for Cuatros Locos. And then so what I would find out, you know, he would do all these big jumps, and the track was like 8 foot wide. You'd land, there's 2 big oak trees on each side. I'm like, these guys nuts, you know?
Yeah.
There's nothing on the national circuit that big. Even like Red Bud, the Rock Elites, it's not that big. This is crazy ass jumps. So what I found out after a couple of years, I'd go up there and he'd give me like 2 nights of practice. Well, let's go race. Well, hell, I ain't even ready. I don't even know the track though. He just want to kick my ass, you know?
Yeah.
That's how buddies are. Well, I found out he would make it into a tabletop, 140 foot tabletop. And then he'd get used to how to hit it, he'd cut out the middle. And then so you're like, this take off and land, and you're like, you're crazy. But he knew I'd hit it, and he didn't expect us to do it. So I found his little secret out there.
Yeah. I do the same thing out here on a much smaller scale, like 40 feet.
Yeah. Right?
I just cut one out over there, and then my buddy comes over here. That gap's kind of scary.
Yeah, right? Yeah, he would do that.
Yeah.
So we had always did that. We got to be good buddies back in like 96. He'd buy a pickup truck, I'd buy a bigger pickup truck. He'd buy a box van, I'd buy a bigger box van. He'd get a...
Were y'all close location-wise back there?
Oh, no, he's in Wisconsin,
okay.
So it's 9-10 hour drive, you know. But
Okay.
still, you know, he was the best, you know. He's always in good shape, fastest guy, so I want to go first. And then, you know, we go pretty faster, but then we got to be good buddies, you know. And he'd come to the house, we go back and forth. And
Okay.
We used to train in Florida together, so we had a good time. It was a lot of fun, learned a lot from him, and it was, but yeah, we just so competitive, you know. We both got hurt one time at a race in Muddy Creek. He broke both his heels and back, and I broke both my ankles and heel, and we were both in the hospital emergency room at the same time. And we were both actually leading the points that year, first and second. I can't remember who was first or second. No, we were tying the points. Yeah. We were tying the points. So, and then somebody said, well, Doug Gus crashed too. He's in 2 rooms down from you. So after we left the hospital, I said, I bet I can ride really further than you can in a wheelchair. You know, so it just started. Well, I bet $100 says I'll be racing back before you do, and who can walk the furthest on crutches, all that kind of stuff. And so it always, he built a jump, I built a big one, or vice versa. I'd get a motorcycle, I'd get a cool looking Honda street bike, he'd get a Harley. Whatever it was, you know, it always competitive that way. And even in aviation, he's got an aviation first, and it's been our whole life. We've been who can outdo the other one, you know. It's been fun doing that.
Yeah.
This is one of the house, right? But
Yep. This is one I picked up. This was my first quad here.
Okay.
I saw it in Nashville and went and got it. It's not perfect, but I was thinking, man, it's better shape than when I got rid of mine, as you know, in the 90s. But those are the original tires.
Yeah, I raced that. Some local races. I actually won my first cross country national on I think it's either 300EX or 250EX at the Redlands. My first time ever experienced the woods. I'm like, where the hell I go? Matter of fact, one of those races, it might have been that race. I was leading the race. About halfway through, I didn't know it was whatever, hour and a half, 2 hours long. I stopped. I think it was William Yoker behind me, and I stopped. You know, bottleneck. He couldn't pass me. I'm like, how long does this thing race? It's 2 hours. Go. No, I didn't know.
Yeah. Man. That's probably what I should have started on. I went straight to a Banshee, and I wasn't ready.
Yeah. So me and Doug Gus, before they came out with the 400EX, we had the whatever year that was, 98 or whatever.
99.
Okay, so
you probably got one in 98.
Yeah, so 97, 98, we would go to the sand. There's a little play a little track we had at the river. That we take these, make a little track out and just beat the shit out of them over the winter. Just try to get in shape. They were stock, they lasted, but they were terrible to practice on. But they were, you know, you don't want to take your race bike there, you know.
Yeah.
30-degree temperatures in the wintertime. So we rode one just like that right there. You know, just the things we did just to ride, you know. We didn't have all the cool stuff. I mean, you practice on this, what pros will practice on something like that, you know. Hey, we were riding, you know.
Yeah.
And the other guys were sitting at home because they didn't want to do it, you know. And then they came out with this, I'm like, oh my God, this is the best thing since sliced bread, you know. The badass spindles.
I went back to one. I mean, you know, I got rid of my stuff and bought one when they came out.
You could turn them up, they ran pretty good, but, you know, then they come out with, of course, the 450R, and this is, you know, well, who wants this thing now, you know.
There you go.
Can you imagine what we'd have now if they hadn't quit making them? In factories were still
kept progressing.
So, you know, 2011, 12, 13, the factories pretty much got out of it. And, of course, they still make the Yamaha. It's improved a little bit. Can you imagine if they were all still in it and improving every year like the dirt bike would be racing now? I mean, it'd be, well, you know, they'd be, you know, cool, better frames, better suspension, more
lighter weight.
It'd probably be 750 cc instead of 450, you know, because power to weight ratio. Might even be independent suspension. You know, you just never know the technology. At the same time, they quit making hybrids, you know, upgrading technology in hybrids back in 2002. Can you imagine what Walsh or all these guys would be making now?
Seriously.
Technology stopped 10 years ago, you know. This is something pretty cool that if this was 100 pounds lighter and 60 inches wide, this would be pretty tough to beat, you know.
Yeah.
You know, you got this 700 cc, you stroke it out, big bore, 850 or something, 60 inches wide, and you take 100 pounds off of it, that'd be hard to beat that thing.
It is plush. You know,
Well,
it's like a Cadillac.
Yeah, look at the snowmobiles, look at the crowd truckers, how fast those things are, even side by side now.
Yep.
And they haven't done anything technology-wise before. And I don't know why. You know, I know it's, you know, that CPSC, that's all gone now, you know, and what the government just...
Man, if you read some of the comments and like the Dirt Wheels posts and stuff, there's people that want it. Now, if they would actually sign up with their pocketbook is a different story, but...
The wrong people at the manufacturer are in charge, and they're more concerned about the scooter market in Asia, you know, so, and the side-by-side market, you know. But, you know, the side-by-sides are cool, but sooner or later, the little kid in the back seat don't want to be in the back seat no more. Can you afford another $40,000 side-by-side? Or can you afford a $19,000 quad?
Yep.
You know, the market's there for it, it's nothing. You know, they can come out with that same 450R right there, same one, and they sell everyone they make because the people are so thirsty for it. Because the Yamaha, yeah, it's cool and they're winning on them, but it's the only thing out there. It's the only thing new you can
It's the
buy.
only option you got.
And it's so expensive to build compared to a Honda. So what are we going to do with this one? We're going to put it on the middle.
I love the look back, man, when you launch that.
Yeah.
You know, he's the old
It's hard to
first one that
replicate
ever did
style,
that.
man.
He's the first one that ever did that.
Really?
That's a Byrd motorcycle.
You get more natural. I could have whipped it this side. I just know where you sat. So this side I'm not as comfortable with it. And I was going to tell you to step on that side because the sun's kind of on that way for the camera, but it worked. Again, when we raced Mickey Thompson, most of them are on the West Coast. I stayed in California for a couple months at a time, and they had that's back when Can and Nat and all that stuff came out with Jeremy McGrath. So me and another fellow racer, Greg Stewart from Scat Track Racing, we were out in just middle of Beaumont, California, and we, you know, kind of like saying that you just kind of make your own track, you know, like you would at like amateur somewhere. And it was a pretty cool track, and they had this berm, real nice berm, just throw you way up, and we were jumping it, so turning, and he started doing, I mean, a real pretty Jeremy McGrath, and all the way around. I'm like, how you doing that? Man, I bet I tried 100 times. I got it maybe once or twice. You got that on film, right? And I did, but he was really good at doing that. And then after that, the freestyle movement really took off, because this was probably 94.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so.
That was really early.
Yeah, so in Cans, Nats, if you do a no-hander lander, oh my God, look, you know, well, Quattros Locos had a bunch of that on there. And that was like the crap back then, you know. And now these guys are backflipping and no hander backflip. It's crazy, you know. I went to a few jumping contests and some indoor races after that, and I'd win a jumping contest because it's bikes and quads. I do the same thing the bikes are doing, but because it's a quad, I would win. And then, oh, look here, and I did a couple more. Well, one time I didn't bring my foot back over. I landed on, broke my foot in 2 spots. I was by myself, had to drive all the way home from North Carolina. I'm like, I think I made $100. I'm like, I'm done with that crap.
All right, what do you think?
Man, you was hauling ass on that little thing.
All right, guys, we just finished wrapping up Pro Joe versus regular Joe.
At Banshee Channel USA here. This is a
Banshee Channel
heck
USA.
of a
Let's
track,
do this.
heck of a facility. We just missed racing the
We
train, man.
just barely missed the
We gotta
train.
do that next time, Brett.
You know, everybody wants to see somebody jump the train, so I think you're the man for the job.
Jump over it.
Jump over to jump on it like the video game.
Okay, well, we gotta have the
That
ramp
one's a
for
little
it.
sketchy, but
We gotta have the ramp.
So
There you go. There's a start over right there. We got hey, let's do the flat car though.
absolutely. All right, guys, video incoming.